trying to log in again. Um, I just wanted to come on because since this young lady has trying to be in, since she joined the crew podcast and have been trying to go live and, share her story, share her journey, it seems like every single time she tries to go live, there is a issue. There is something. I don't know what message this lady is truly trying to give, but the enemy is definitely not on her side. The enemy is definitely against her. But I just wanted to come on here and occupy this space until she got here because apparently her message is powerful, and we know how the enemy works, and we see it often right here on this podcast as hosts try to go live, try to bring you information that we feel is needed for our communities. And the enemy is so busy. But I just wanted to come on and let you guys know that we have been trying to go live. We have been trying to broadcast this show since 8 o'clock because she called me a few minutes before we were supposed to be live. And this is her calling me again. This is her calling me again, y'all. So we trying to see where she's at. Hello?
Yes, I'm still logging in. It says loading studio.
Okay, well, I'm in the studio. I am live. So, like I was saying, y'all, I don't know what it is, but apparently the message that she's trying to bring y'all is a powerful message that is trying to be hindered. Because like I say, since she has joined the network, every single time she tries to come in the studio and go live, it's always an issue. We even tested her 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 equipment last week to make sure that she was able to come in and we were able to go live. Had no issues. We went live and we were live for some minutes. Normally it would kick her off at like 17 seconds or so, but we were able to actually go live, connect, and her equipment worked. I don't know why the enemy is fighting her so hard, but of course we know when there is a message that has to be delivered and something that the people need to hear, it's always some friction. There's always something that tries to hinder. And I just wanted y'all to see how real this was. Because there's a couple of other hosts that have no problems ever. But then we have some that every time they try to go live, it's delays. There's something going on with the recording. There's something going on with the music. It's always something. But for everybody that have been following us and supporting us for the last 3 years, know that we don't stop. We don't quit. We continue. We go on. We press. We are here to serve our community and to educate, empower, and encourage. So we press and we continue to try to bring the message and the things that we feel will help build our communities and make our communities stronger. So know that we don't stop. We not stopping. I'm yet here, waiting for her to come in the studio. That's right, Patrice. We make it do what it do, because that's all we know to do. Because one thing we are not is quitters. We do not quit. So if the I just want to serve the enemy notice on tonight. You may have hindered us tonight, but you won't get that opportunity again. So I hope you are enjoying this go round because you won't get another chance to hinder her show. If that means we got to start going live a little earlier, we'll go whatever it takes to defeat you. We will do that because you get no victory on the crew podcast. You will not come against our host because they're on a mission. That there's something that they're supposed to be delivering to the people, to help the people. When I tell you we are the change that we desire to see in this world, that's exactly what we are. So, enemy, just know that you are served on tonight. You won't get another chance to affect any of these hosts. Trust and believe. So you had your little time tonight, but you won't get it again.
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. I try very hard to bring my message to everyone because I know it's important for them to know. That's why I go live on Facebook too, so that people can know. There's a big story out here that needs to be told. It's not just the Havana syndrome, it's how I've been living with it. And so people can see me. That's why I want to be on your podcast, on your show. But I just bought this new this new tablet. And it worked just fine when we were doing it for promotion to see if it would work, and it worked. For some reason tonight they had me in a different room. I don't know. But I want you and your listeners to know that my name is Gwen Smalls, and I am with Shall Thou Bough Break podcast. And I am here to let you guys know that I am not going to stop until this thing is right. Because I've never had such problems before in my life trying to get onto my site. Tonight I talked about the sheltered life and how my life was dealing with the Havana syndrome during the COVID pandemic and being in the shelter. I became homeless after taking COVID funds during the pandemic, which I didn't know that you were supposed to take COVID funds during the pandemic. We never had a pandemic before, so how would I know? Before I had a house, I was on Section 8. So being that I was on Section 8, I was able to afford certain things, and I was working part-time. So I had a basketball court in my backyard, I had a above-ground pool, I had a grill, I had a deck, I had enough grass that I could do tennis or badminton. I had grass in the front yard. I cut my own grass. I put lines in my grass so it looked nice, nicely manicured, lawn, every 2 weeks. And then the pandemic came. And then I was told by my Section 8 voucher coordinator, whatever you want to call her, Jennifer, that you can't take funds. So I didn't pay my rent a whole year. But being that I didn't pay my rent a whole year, that violates the Section 8. So they was happy to take it away from me. And he did. So I stayed in my truck for 6 months. And lived in my truck for 6 months. I had to take a shower at people's houses that I knew. Sometimes, if I was in a hotel, it was a hotel. And there was sometimes it was at the 7-Eleven where I was parked across the street from, or any bathroom that I can go into that allowed me to take a wash at the Waffle House. I had to take a shower, I had to take a wash at the Waffle House. And then after 6 months of that, I lived with my sister for 6 months, which I wouldn't suggest to family members. The reason why I say that because not everybody get along. My sister worried about the electric bill, she worried about the water bill, she worried about things to me that was tedious. I wouldn't say that's not tedious, but tedious for a person who don't do anything. It wasn't like I was running the water, had the lights on. It's just that that's the type of person that she is. And I stayed with her for about 6 months, got a job at McDonald's. And that's when the Havana syndrome was really burning my hair out. My hair was blonde, and I got a big hole on my head from rubbing it so much because it was burning and itching at the same time. And sometimes it would burn, and sometimes it would itch at different times. And I took pictures of it because I'm like, what is burning my skull? It seemed like whenever I was around music, That's when my skull was burning. I call it my skull in my head. So after living with my sister for 6 months, and working at McDonald's, I went to New York City. My daughter asked me to move to New York City to be with her. So I came to New York City and I stayed in the shelter for 2 years. I would suggest that only because they find you apartments is the only reason why I would say, yeah, it's worth it. Because I live in a beautiful studio apartment. But while I was in the shelter, so much was going on. There was fighting. The police was there all the time. 2 or 3 times a day. I had this girl spit on me, which they said she could have HIV. I don't know. But she fought everybody in the whole shelter, just about. And that's when the staff used to befriend the bullies, and the bullies would do their job for them because they couldn't do it, which is fight you. But I still have the Havana syndrome in the shelter, trying to deal with that and be away from my family. It's not easy being away from your family. But then you have to sign in every single night. Every single night you have to sign in. And there were women in there fighting. I got into 2 fights. Lost my favorite earring. That got lost. I found it. Then it got lost again. Then this lady pushed me. I had her arrested because I fell on my wrist. So they thought that was worth having her arrested. So I had her arrested. And it's so much go on, especially when you're in the shelter and you know that the shelter setting you thought wasn't what you thought it was. It's like they have women in there that look like men because they're transitioning over to being being women. And there was a few men that were in there who still had their private parts as men, but they somehow passed a test. I was told that the test is what can tell if the person is really trying to transition to being a woman, and I guess they passed the test and they were allowed to come into the shelter. Then you had some women in there who were dressed like men also, who loved to get naked. There was one lady who got naked in the cafeteria for breakfast. I don't know what was going on in her head, but she just stripped, took her shirt off, and she was just bare-chested in front of all the ladies that was in there trying to enjoy the piece of breakfast that we had, which was all garbage. We had catering before that was garbage when we ate microwavable food, and then they gave us a caterer who cooked, and that was worse. They should have left it at the microwavable food is what I was saying. A lot of women there felt the same way. But that's not the only woman that loved to get undressed. There's one woman that was in my room. She was on the second floor, and she went to bed naked, got up naked. She only got dressed when it was during the daytime and she was going to go somewhere. Otherwise, that she just got naked. It was like you being exposed to women in the shelter who don't care about other people's integrity, don't care about their self-respect, don't care about whether somebody has something to say about them or not. They still gonna do what they want to do. Not only that, they had tampons that was bloody all over the floor, in the shower, in the toilet, blood all over the seats. One lady used the bathroom on the floor. She did the number 2. She just shit it all over the floor. They had to clean that up. And the blood, they had to clean that up. They don't even know if that person got something or not. Those are the things that I had to endure in the shelter. Besides the fighting, besides other people fighting. So I just wanted to let you know a little bit about the shelter life. And this is going to be in my second book, Shall Thou Bough Break. My second book, Hidden in Plain Sight. It's just certain things that need to be told, should be told, so people can know. If you're going to go into a shelter, then this is what you need to expect. And if you're going to go into a shelter and you already expect that, then you're willing to stay in there for 2 years, like I did, in that boxing ring for 2 years, so that you can get a nice apartment. From the beginning, it was, because things were not that bad. But it seemed that over time, different people coming in, different people leaving, and the worst came in when I was almost ready to leave. But I still have the Havana syndrome that Obama called the Havana syndrome in 2006. 3 years. It's going on 24 years now, next year, beginning of April, May. And why I say April, May, because that's when it started coming down on me the way that it is. I never had it before. I was like you. I was able to just deal with life, everyday life, think of things, do things, go places, talk the way I want to talk, not feel like somebody trying to stop me from talking. And that's really sad to be in America, and my First Amendment right is being compromised. But it is. So with that being said, Biden signed it into law, and he made it real. And by making it real, I want to use it to tell you every single thing that's happening to me. Could happen to you in the future, could happen to your kids, could happen to your grandkids. You just never know. Why they pick me, I don't know. I don't know why they picked me, but they picked me. When my brother died in police custody in 2013, excuse me, that's the Havana Center. In 2013 in police custody, they gave me a platform. And I'm thankful to Angela for allowing me to use it. I'm out trying to make sure that I got the proper equipment to make sure that I can get onto her show. And it seemed that there's always something coming up that doesn't allow me to do that. So we're going to get it right. That's why I haven't had a guest on yet, because I want to make sure that I get it right first before I invite my guest on and have them go through this. So with that being said, thank you, Angela. Thank you, audience, for listening. My name is Gwen Smalls, and I'm with Shall Thou Bough Break podcast.
Amen, amen, amen. So hopefully, in 2 weeks when her show is, she has another show coming up. It will be August the 27th. So hopefully everything will go fine and we will be able to have her here live. I want to thank everyone that has joined in on tonight. Just keep supporting, and we will keep pressing and keep pushing. So know that that's what we do over here on the Crew Podcast. And again, I want to thank everyone that I don't know who nominated our podcast for Media Outlet of the Year with the Kingdom Image Awards. Know that we appreciate the nomination. We are grateful. If you have not voted, we want you to go out and vote. You can go to the website. We have posted it all around. So please cast your votes. You can vote every day up until October the 1st. And we would love to see you guys in Columbus, Ohio, November 6th through the 8th. Again, cast your votes. And again, thank you for supporting the Crew Podcast. You have been listening to the host, Gwen Smalls. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.